All right, so are you ready to dive into Whispers in the Dark?
I am definitely ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, this fictional podcast script. It's
It's going to be good.
pretty creepy stuff. We're talking about like an abandoned house, a grandmother that disappeared, strange symbols, all that kind of good stuff.
I love it when these stories really dig into like those primal fears, you know?
Yeah.
They tap into something that's been with us for like centuries,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
So the story starts with Sarah.
Okay.
And she is arriving at her grandmother's house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like deep in the woods.
Okay.
Autumn,
Spooky.
cold.
Yeah.
The air is thick. You can smell the damp leaves.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just like setting the scene for something spooky.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the setting in horror, it's like it's more than just a background.
Right.
It's another character almost.
Yeah.
You know, like that isolated house, all dark in the woods. It just makes you feel vulnerable right away.
Totally. And so we know that Sarah's there to sell the house.
Okay.
Just wants to get in and out.
Mhm.
But something tells me it's not going to be that easy.
Right. Well, that's smart. The writer did that.
Yeah.
Having that contrast, you know.
Yeah.
Sarah wants a clean break.
Right.
But this house, you know, it's full of mystery and probably danger.
Totally. And it doesn't take long for things to get creepy.
Oh, no.
So on the first night, Sarah hears someone whisper her name,
Oh.
just her name,
Oh, my gosh.
in the dead of night.
I'd be out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know about you,
Oh, yeah. No way.
but like,
That's creepy.
I would be gone.
Well, you know, what's interesting is how the writer builds the suspense
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
It's not just like, bam, a scary thing.
Right.
But it's like this creeping feeling of, oh, is something wrong?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that whisper, it could just be the wind.
Right.
But then you start to doubt, and that doubt just grows and grows.
Yes, and it does grow. The next night, the whispers are back,
Huh.
but louder this time.
Oh, no.
And then she hears footsteps
No.
shuffling in the hallway. So
Oh.
Sarah decides to investigate.
Some people just can't resist a good mystery, can they?
I guess not.
Even when it's scary.
Even when it's terrifying.
It makes you think about, like, why are some people drawn to the darkness, you know,
Right.
when it could be dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So she grabs a flashlight
Okay.
and she heads down to the basement,
Of course.
which, you know, her grandmother always told her to stay away from the basement.
Oh, brilliant.
But
Of course.
that makes it even more enticing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, what's down there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the deeper she goes, the colder it gets.
Ooh,
And then she
wow.
sees them,
What?
strange symbols carved into the basement walls.
Oh.
Like now this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Right.
Those symbols add so much to the story, you know?
Yeah.
It makes you think, oh, there's something ancient going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Something ritualistic.
Right.
Something more than just a haunting.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, where did the writer get those symbols?
Yeah.
There's so much mythology and folklore we could talk about there.
Totally. And so it's like we've moved from a ghost story
Hmm.
into something a little bit more sinister.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then Sarah finds this old chest
Okay.
tucked away in a corner,
Oh.
and inside are old photographs,
Okay.
a diary, and a locket
Ooh, a locket.
with a picture of her grandmother and a man that Sarah doesn't recognize.
Hmm.
And the inscription on the back says, "Together forever, even in death."
Oh.
Oh, shells.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right.
That's a great discovery, though.
Yeah.
Each of those objects is like a piece of the puzzle,
Yes.
leading us to figure out what happened to Sarah's grandmother.
Right.
It's like the writer's giving us little clues.
Yeah.
Teasing us.
Yeah.
Making us want to know more.
Totally.
It's great.
Yeah. And I bet that diary's gonna be really bad.
I bet it is too.
Yeah. That locket with the inscription is seriously creepy, and I bet that diary is even worse.
Oh, yeah. The diary is bad. It reveals that Sarah's grandmother was involved in this, like, forbidden ritual, you know,
Oh.
trying to bring someone back from the dead.
Okay. Yeah, that never goes well.
It all went horribly wrong, and now she's trapped.
Oh, or worse.
Yeah, or worse.
So the whispers, the footsteps, maybe it's not even her grandmother we're dealing with.
Right. That's what makes it so scary. We don't really know what's haunting the house.
Yeah.
It could be the grandmother, but all twisted by the ritual.
Right.
Or it could be something else, you know,
Oh.
drawn to the house by what she did.
Okay. Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah.
And the last diary entry is basically a warning.
Oh, yeah.
The whispers won't stop. He's here, but he's not the same.
Oh, my gosh. She knew she messed up.
She did. It's interesting how the writer adds that in, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just that the grandmother's the victim.
Right.
She made a choice. Yeah.
And it had these horrible consequences.
Yeah.
Makes you think about how far people will go when they're grieving.
Right, because they'll do anything to get that person back.
Yeah, anything.
And then we finally meet. He appears at the foot of the stairs.
Oh,
A shadowy figure, glowing eyes, a voice that would make your blood run cold.
oh gosh.
This is a scary scene.
The writer did such a good job here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all that build up, all the little clues, and then bam,
Right.
pure horror.
Yeah, and it's not just like a random ghost. It's
Right.
like this manifestation of her grief.
Yes, exactly.
And messing with things she shouldn't have messed with.
Yeah, she went too far.
Way too far.
Oh,
So he tells her she shouldn't have come back.
oh no.
And at this point, I think we all agree with him.
I think so.
So she manages to lock herself in a room,
Okay.
but the whispers are everywhere.
Oh no.
She's trapped with this terrifying figure.
Yeah.
So she grabs the locket
Okay.
and shouts, "What do you want from me?" Oh my gosh, what a cliffhanger.
I know, right?
So what happens next?
Well, instead of attacking her,
Oh, really?
he points at the locket and says, "Destroy it. Set me free."
Wow.
But his voice is filled with sorrow.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he's not some evil entity that wants revenge.
It's more complicated than that, you know. He seems to be trapped too, just like the grandmother.
Oh, wow.
He wants to be free.
Okay.
So maybe he's not the one causing all this.
Oh, so it's something else.
Maybe the writer is making us question who the real victim is.
That is so clever.
Yeah, it's really good.
So what happens? Does she destroy the locket?
She does. She's terrified, but she throws it into the fireplace.
Okay.
And as soon as it burns, the figure screams and disappears.
Oh, wow.
The house is silent.
It sounds like it's finally a peace.
It does. The burning of the locket is so symbolic.
Oh, how so?
Well, fire, you know.
Yeah.
It's about getting rid of bad stuff, cleansing.
Okay.
So by burning the locket,
Sarah breaks the connection the ritual made
right,
and frees them both.
the figure and the house.
Yeah, and it shows that sometimes letting go is the only way to be at peace.
Even with all the grief and loss.
Even then,
But does that mean the house is truly safe?
that's what the writer wants us to think about.
Oh, really?
Yep, Sarah leaves and never comes back.
Okay.
But the story ends, and we don't really know.
Oh,
Some people say the whispers are gone forever,
okay.
but others think they're still there.
Oh, gosh.
Uh,
For someone else to come along.
Exactly.
So even though she fixed the problem right then,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if it's really gone for good. Or if the house is just like connected to something bad.
That's a creepy thought.
It is. It really is. You know, as we've been talking about the story, something's been on my mind.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It's not just the characters or the plot, it's the house itself. It almost feels like another character.
I know exactly what you mean. It's not just a background. It's like a part of everything that's happening. The way the writer talks about the creaky floors and the whispers,
Yeah,
it's like the house is alive.
it really is. And those symbols in the basement.
Yeah, those symbols.
They weren't just random, were they?
No, they add a whole other layer to the story.
What do you think they mean?
Well, they make you think about something ancient. You know,
Yeah.
ritualistic.
Right.
Like maybe something bad happened there a long time ago.
Yeah, before Sarah even got there.
Exactly. Like the house has these scars,
Ooh.
and those scars are affecting everything.
Yeah, it's almost like the house is a mirror,
That's a good way to put it.
reflecting all that sadness and grief.
Yeah.
And when Sarah confronts the figure and destroys the locket, she's not just helping herself.
Right. She's helping the house too.
Yeah, like she's healing it.
That's a great point. She's not just stuck in a scary situation.
Right.
She's changing things.
Exactly. And I keep thinking about the ending. You know how the writer doesn't really tell us what happens? For sure.
It makes you wonder.
Is the house really at peace? Or will those whispers come back?
It's
Yeah.
powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
It makes you realize that some things just can't be fixed.
Yeah, even though Sarah tried to do the right thing.
Exactly. She had good intentions.
Mhm.
But sometimes we do things and they have consequences.
That we don't expect.
We think we're in control,
Yeah.
but sometimes there are forces that are stronger than us.
That's a scary thought.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, we like to think we can fix everything,
Right.
but sometimes the past just won't let go.
It lingers.
It whispers to us in the dark.
Yeah, reminding us that some things never really heal.
I think that's the message of the story.
What do you mean?
It's like a warning.
Oh.
Don't mess with things you don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's also about being strong,
Okay.
facing your fears and moving on.
Even when it's hard.
even when it's really hard.
Well, this deep dive into Whispers in the Dark has been fascinating. We've talked about the setting and what things mean.
Yeah.
We've explored grief and loss and learned that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create.
And hey, next time you're near a creepy old house,
Yeah.
maybe keep walking.
Good advice.
Some secrets are better left alone.
This has been The Deep Dive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into a new world of stories and ideas.